According to the ASPCA, approximately 6.5 million animals are taken into animal shelters each year. Only 3.2 million of these animals are adopted each year. This means that many animals live their entire life in lonely cages with no loving family. I've worked at an animal shelter and I have 2 rescue dogs at home, and I strongly believe when you're looking for a pet, the best thing you can do is adopt. This brings so much joy to the animal as well as to the owner. And you're not just buying a pet, but you are saving a life. And this makes a huge impact. Today I'm going to persuade to you why next time you're looking to buy a pet, you should adopt from a shelter with 3 main reasons. Adopting saves lives, it is cheaper, and it helps fight against cruel breeding. Adopting saves many lives. According to the ASPCA, approximately 1.5 million animals are euthanized from shelters each year. This is due to overcrowding in shelters, that the shelters have to put dogs and cats to sleep if they've been there for too long, if they seem to be injured, or if they're growing some health problems. Because of the overcrowding, they have to put them to sleep and not really deal with the problems. Euthanasia only concerns death that is in the interest of a human or non-human. Death is never in the interest of a healthy animal. When a shelter kills a healthy animal, it's not euthanasia, it is just plain killing. And it is just wrong. That is a quote from Gary Frasinoni. Animals of all ages get euthanized, and the only way to prevent this from happening is if you adopt the animal and give it a second chance at life. When you adopt from a pet shelter, you are also taking a pet off the street. According to PETA, there are approximately 70 million cats and dogs struggling to survive on the street right now. And many shelters have to turn away all these animals because of how overcrowded all the shelters are. So when you adopt an animal, it opens up the space for an animal on the street, and it gives them a chance to get adopted. As you can see, one person can make a big impact on not just one animal, but 2 animals, as one gets taken off the street as well as you adopt one. Now I'm going to talk about how it is a good decision financially to adopt. Adopting from a shelter is a lot cheaper than buying from a breeder or a pet store. Buying from a breeder or pet store, according to Simple Dollar, will cost at least $1,000, and this does not include microchipping, vaccinations, spay or neuter surgeries, and other medications that you must buy for your pet. When you buy from an animal shelter, it costs around $150, and this does include vaccinations, medications, spay or neuter surgeries, and microchipping. And for breeders and pet stores, it can be much higher than $1,000 depending on what breed you buy. And so when you buy from an animal shelter, the money that you use to buy the animal will only go to a good cause. The money is used to help maintain the shelter, to help buy supplies for other animals in the shelter, and just overall it's going towards the shelter, it's not any way benefiting the owners at all. Like it is for breeders and pet stores, they just use it as profit for themselves. So when you buy from a pet shelter, you know that the money is going to a good cause and it is much cheaper in the end. Now that I've talked about financial benefits, I'll talk about how adopting helps to fight against cruel breeding. Adopting from a shelter can fight against cruel breeding from puppy mills and from backyard breeders. A puppy mill is an inhumane high-volume breeding facility that churns out puppies for profit, ignoring the needs of the mom and the dog and the puppies. Many pet stores use dogs from puppy mills, and they are always very unhealthy as they're usually crammed into filthy, overcrowded, stacked wire cages and denied healthy food, clean water, and the correct veterinary care. And many of these dogs have behavioral issues and, of course, health issues because they don't get good care and they're never really socialized, so they have bad behavior. And there are 10,000 active puppy mills in the United States, and according to DoSomething.org, 2 million puppies get sold from puppy mills each year. Every time a pet store sells a puppy, another one gets replaced, and it continues the cycle of cruel breeding. Along with puppy mills, there's cruel backyard breeding. Backyard breeders are irresponsible breeders that just breed whatever types of animals they want to make a profit, and they don't know what they're doing, and it's really irresponsible to do this as the dogs come out pretty unhealthy most of the time, and people don't realize this until after they buy the animal, and the breeders do not care what happens once the dog is out of their hands. So it is really important to do a lot of research before buying a pet and make sure you don't support these types of businesses, because it's really important that they don't keep going on, as unfortunately they are. But if you adopt from a shelter, you know you will not be supporting these types of businesses, and it will only be helping the dogs. In conclusion, adopting a dog from shelters can make a huge impact and change an animal's life forever. And it helps save animals, many animals, and it's much cheaper, and it helps fight against cruel breeding. So next time you're thinking about buying a dog, think about the differences you can make if you adopt from a shelter. There are definitely many breeds at the shelters, and there will definitely be one for you that you will love and you will want to take home, even if that's a problem for you. So saving one dog will not change the world, but surely for that one dog, the world will be changed forever. Thank you.